Hello everybody, Flik here and welcome to Let's Chat, my weekly vlog series posted every Monday at lunchtime if you're in the UK anyway. And to start with today, we're going to do the same old thing. I'm going to look back at last week's vlog, even though I can't technically call them vlogs because there's no video, but don't question it, and see what questions got asked. I also gave people an hour's warning on Twitter, so we'll see if there's anything on there, and also I'm just going to quickly turn off Steam to stop pop-ups like that happening. I'm not sure if you heard it or not. Sometimes the music drowns it out, sometimes I drown it out, sometimes it's audible and it bugs me even if it doesn't bug you. So let's start with last week's Let's Chat, give people on Twitter a bit more time. Right, so last week was number 26, right, here we are, good. Right, so starting at the top and working my way down. Kieran McNally, I assume that's how you pronounce your name, apologies if it isn't. Can you do a Skyrim playthrough? No. Once you mod Skyrim you can't go back. And in my Skyrim, I'm using jutsus from Naruto, I'm using lightsabers, my moon's a Death Star, and I can't play vanilla after that. Also, Skyrim was really good, but I preferred Oblivion and I preferred Morrowind. Plus, it's such a big game. I mean, even if you stick, I know if you stick to the story, you can do Skyrim's story in like under an hour or whatever, but obviously I wouldn't do it like that. I'd want to do all the side stuff. That'd take way too long. And in terms of like long play, I don't know what else to call it really. Something that would appear on my channel for a long period of time, not just a month or 2 months, but you know, a really long time. Skyrim wouldn't be it for me. I'm also not sure I ever want to do something that focused or that would require that much focus because it would get stale. And also, what if people didn't like it? That's why I try and avoid doing overly long games when I do playthroughs. Or I do them once in a while, like Monster Hunter you can say. I mean, it's nearing, what, 60 something episodes now? So yeah, it's been going a long time. Not everybody likes Monster Hunter, but I feel that because I space out the episodes of it so much, even if people don't like it, there's alternatives. So no to Skyrim playthrough. If I had liked Elder Scrolls Online, I might have done a mini-series on that, but I didn't like it at all. So there won't be anything on that either. If you want to see some more thoughts on ESO in particular, I did a rather long let's look at of it, trying to articulate my problems I had with my time with the beta. It's not a good game. Anyway, moving on. Next is Red Knight. Flik, in regards to a new series, you could do something like Assassin's Creed or Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Well, that's out because it's Nintendo. Assassin's Creed, I did videos on Assassin's Creed. That's plural. Basically every game that had a multiplayer mode, I did videos of the multiplayer mode. So it started in what? It got introduced in 2, Brotherhood had it, Revelations had it, and Assassin's Creed 3 had it. Assassin's Creed 4 did as well, but I didn't buy it because I hated Assassin's Creed 3 and pirates don't interest me. Yes, I didn't really want to give Ubisoft any more money after the Assassin's Creed franchise kind of went off the rails and went shit, and now they're just milking it for everything there's worth, and I don't like it anymore. Plus, the multiplayer used to, I mean, it started amazing. I really liked the multiplayer as it was in Assassin's Creed 2. That's why I did so many videos on it. And then their next iteration was a bit crappy. And then in Revelations, or am I getting that wrong? I think in Brotherhood it was still okay. Then in Revelations it was god-awful. And then in Assassin's Creed 3, it kind of went back to being pretty good. I quite liked it was the only thing I liked in Assassin's Creed 3 was the multiplayer, but it still had problems, but I still enjoyed it. It's actually a shame that we didn't stick with it longer than we did, but I did videos on it with CR and people. But would I do a playthrough of it? No. And I don't have any intention of buying the next one, quite frankly. I don't like the series anymore. They are pretty long games as well. But no, definitely not to Super Smash Bros. Nope, it's a Nintendo game though, claim on everything, and I guess I'll go into more details about that later on, because that's one of the talking points I want to bring up once I'm done with the Q&A. So next, Watch Dogs needs a lot of optimization to be really enjoyable, otherwise it's playable on my laptop at minimum settings. Benefits of torrents, from Arnis Butkus. Torrenting of games is illegal, you should never do it. There is no justification to ever do it. On the side of Watch Dogs, I'm currently playing through the PS3 version of it. My review copy finally arrived on the day I'm recording this. I'll get a first impressions video of it out. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a playthrough of this. I imagine if you just focused on main missions it could actually be done in say like 5-6 hours. That is a really wild guess at the moment, so don't hold me to that. I'll have a better estimation of completion time by the time I do a let's look at of it, I think. But I worked out there is actually a game at the end of end of June? Yeah, end of June. At the end of June, there is the new Transformers game by High Moon Studios. High Moon Studios make very good Transformer games. War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, both really good. Did playthroughs of both if you're interested. Now the problem with this next one is it's half a High Moon Transformers game and half a shitty movie tie-in to the new shitty Michael Bay Transformers movies, which are... they just get worse with each iteration. It's god awful. So I really don't like the pitch for this next one. That's like half the High Moon story that ended with Fall of Cybertron, and now it's going to be like half mixing in the shitty Bay movie Transformers, or Cybertronians to be exact. But I'm still going to play it because I'm a Transformers fan. I can't help it, so I'll be doing that, and I'll be doing a playthrough of it. Even if it's god awful. I mean, I did the Revenge of the Fallen game, I did a playthrough of that. I did the one for... sweet Jesus, what was the third Bay film called? I watched it once and never want to watch it again. I honestly can't remember what it's called. Dark Spark? Something Spark? It had Leonard Nimoy as the villain. That's all I remember, which is ironic because he also voiced Galvatron in the 80s movie, which I quite liked. But anyway, moving on. That's something I want to play, but that leaves the whole of June until it's released for something to take the place of Spider-Man, which I'm recording this on the day the final part is going up actually. So technically at the point I'm recording this, what have I got? I've got Dark Souls PC ongoing. We're going into New Game Plus. We've actually started filming that. And I have Monster Hunter, which as I say I like pacing because not everybody is into watching me hunt monsters. And the Let's Chats and the Let's Look Ats, but I want another series to kind of fill the gap until my next thing that I know I definitely want to cover. Watch Dogs might take that place. I would have really liked to do Battle Block Theatre with CR, but he said he wasn't interested, which is a shame, but oh well. It seems like a lot of fun to me. There's actually another game on Steam called Tori Bash, I think, which looks like, I don't think it's something you can make a series of, but I think it's something you could have a lot of fun with. I don't know, I'll pitch that when I speak to him tonight. I think we're recording some Dark Souls tonight. Anyway, moving on. As I say, I'm playing Watch Dogs currently. In fact, it's paused next to me at the moment. I'm going to carry on playing it. I've been playing it most of the morning, and there will be a video on my thoughts on it at some later date. I mean, there's no point in me rushing now at this point. Ubisoft took so long to get my review copy to me. It's not like I need to worry about getting up on as the second the embargo lifts. So, meh, I guess. Next. Dynester, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, I apologise. Will you be doing a Let's Look At or even a small series of The Stomping Land? What the hell is The Stomping Land? I'm actually going to Google this as we speak. I have not heard of The Stomping Land. I don't even remember seeing it in... is it an indie game? I don't remember having any emails about it. The Stomping Land. Let's see, I'm doing this live. The Stomping Land by Alex Fundora. It's on Kickstarter, or maybe it's already done, but this is like an old Kickstarter. Let me just load this up. There shouldn't be any videos playing, so I won't need to worry about... is the Kickstarter page loading? Is it loading? It's thinking about loading. I am uploading as I record this, so it's not the internet's fault for now. Well, I could leave that loading in the background and move on to another question. Oh, there we go. Right, so... oh, it's already been funded. It got funded last year. Ah, right, so it must be nearing release at this point. They asked for $20,000. They got $114,000. Nice. The Stomping Land is a multiplayer survival game about dinosaurs. Create traps, salvage resources, form tribes. That immediately screams to me, DayZ with dinosaurs, Rust with dinosaurs. And I'm not into those games because they're often feature barren, I guess. Like, I'm on Kotaku the other day there. And by the way, it's so much better now that there's a UK Kotaku because it filters out all the shit from the American version, so it's almost tolerable as a website to look at. Still bad, but tolerable. Anyway, on there was a thing about, why are people who play DayZ and Rust bastards? You're missing the point. You're entirely missing the point. The reason people are dicks to each other in those games is because there's nothing else to do, and that's why I will never buy them at full price. But anyway, it does have dinosaurs in it. Dinosaurs are fun, and they obviously got funding. Would I be doing... I mean, if they approach me, I don't often directly approach indie devs. I usually approach like the big name developers. In terms of indies, I let them approach me, and then I kind of do it on a case by case basis. Like right now, in the span of me doing this recording so far, I've got 6 emails. Wait, I already had like 2, so I've only had like 4, but a lot of indie devs contact me very, very regularly, so I don't go looking for indie games often. I usually just have to send emails out if I want a AAA title. Like for example, Watch Dogs. So will I be doing one? I mean, if they approach me, and if I'll look more into the Kickstarter, well, and their website I see in the Google results here. I could approach them, but if they approach me, I'll definitely give it a go. Whether or not I do a video on it depends on whether I like it enough to warrant telling my subscribers about it. Because that's the way I look at my Let's Look At series. If I cover something in it, I don't really want it to be a, hey, look at this is really, really bad. I want it to be a, hey, you might like this. Anyway, moving on. Gaming faster than light. Are you going to try and stream ever, whether on Twitch or another service? I would if I could. I have actually tested both YouTube's streaming service and Twitch's in the past. This was before Twitch became HD only, and I could just about manage 480p, which is god awful to look at, but it meant I could stream like indie games, like, you know, like Binding of Isaac or FTL. That's the two examples I used when I was testing the streaming capabilities. My connection can't handle better than that. I'd love to be able to stream. I'd love it. I mean, when I join in on CR's live streams, I have fun with it. I think I'd take very well to being on Twitch, or an alternative if Twitch goes to hell, if YouTube does indeed buy it. But will that be anytime soon? Not that I know of. Sometime before the end of 2017, my rural area will be getting a fibre optic upgrade. When that'll happen in that time frame, I don't know. I mean, and I can't afford to move, so it's basically I can't right now. I want to, but can't. And it bums me out that people follow me on Twitch and I can't do anything with it. I tried fairly recently, just at the start of the new year there, trying to stream Spelunky using the new kind of minimum Twitch requirements. Can't do it, just can't. So unfortunately I am screwed over. Daniel Na. I know a YouTuber that YouTube screwed over and now relies on Twitch. Screwed over equals randomly taking away all his subs, and that might have happened in the G+ setup. Like, some people didn't understand the integration of G+ and tried to delete their G+ accounts, and in doing so deleted their subscribers. I've heard of multiple people doing that by accident. It was really bad. Yeah, so I'd feel really bad for him if the deal does happen. Yeah, the more I think about what would happen if YouTube bought Twitch, the more I'm fearful for everybody who likes Twitch, and I can definitely see why. Like, I wouldn't mention names, but I was checking out a YouTuber who I noticed hadn't posted a video in a long time. It's 3 months, and I thought, wow, has something happened? And no, they just went to Twitch. They're just doing Twitch. They don't even bother with VODs now. They have a subscription, you know, partnership thingy on Twitch, and they just do that. They do it every day. So it seems to be the promised land right now, as I was saying last time, but I don't think it'll remain that way if YouTube buys it out. Dragonakis telling me that the way I pronounce his name is indeed correct. Good. Watch Dogs could be really fun. Could be a really fun Let's Play, as you said, if it doesn't suck. I've been waiting for this game for ages, losing all hope of the game being good though. If you want a preview of my thoughts, having spent a few hours with the game so far, it's very rough around the edges. It's got a lot of stuff in it that's unnecessary, but I'm enjoying it. You can play it too much like GTA. That's the thing I'll say so far. Also, it's not pretty, but whether or not you care about that, I'll leave to you to decide. Right, so that concludes the comments and questions on last week's Let's Chat. Thank you very much for those who asked, and feel free to ask or suggest a topic again in the posting of this one. And now let me have a quick look. By the way, I apologise for all the mouse clicks. Let me have a look at Twitter. Oh, we had some input. Okay, good. Right, let's see what's happening here. Where will I start? Let's start at Capital Money Gaming asks, what do you use to record? I use OBS for PC stuff. I did use Fraps, which I do think is a better program if you want really high quality. My PC just started having issues with Fraps and I couldn't get to the bottom of it, so I switched to OBS. OBS works, it's just not as pretty as it could be. And it's primarily a streaming program, but if I was ever able to live stream, at least I've got a program set up the way I like it, ready for that moment to happen. For console stuff, I use an Elgato that was paid for thanks to my patrons. I used to use a first edition Hapage HD PVR, which is good, but it didn't do HDMI in, so that's why I had to switch if I wanted to record from my PS4, for example. So yeah, the Elgato I like a lot. It's very compact, very easy to store underneath my TV and amongst all my consoles, etc. So that gets my thumbs up. I haven't tested the second generation Apaches, the gaming editions, wherever they call them. I think CR did, but for streaming he found the Elgato to be smoother, so take that as what you will. For voice, I am using a Blue Nessie. I used to use a Blue Yeti, and prior to that I used a Turtle Beach PX21. and on the very rare occasions I use a webcam. Let me turn my head to read this. I use a Carl Zeiss Taser HD 1080p Logitech webcam. So there you go. I think that's covered everything I used to record. Yeah. Oh, unless you mean like, well, editing programs. I use Sony Vegas and Audacity is what I'm recording my audio in right now. I think that covers everything. Right, so Dragonakis asked on Twitter thoughts on the discussion with CR about Watch Dogs last night. Oh, about the graphic. I'm going to have to scroll back down the mentions here. I think they were talking about the graphics of AAA consoles. Oh yeah, it's because someone released a video showing Ubisoft's E3 2012 Watch Dogs revealed, you know, the demo they did on stage, where I can't remember offhand. It's the only pre-release footage of Watch Dogs I ever saw. And then side by side they recreated the stuff happening in it in the PC version running on Ultra settings, and I guessed it didn't match up, although I saw some screenshots of the PC version on Ultra and I thought it looked pretty good. Maybe not the same level as the E3 thing, but E3 trailers are always monster PCs and whatnot. They're never built for consoles. So then they went on talking about comparing it to Dark Souls 2. What? Dark Souls 2, the original engine. Oh right, and the engine not being enough to handle. They're talking about PC ports and whatnot. Well, I don't think I can weigh in on that yet. I might go into that when I do my Let's Look At of the game. And then you also said you're waiting to see my review. It might actually be a review. If I kind of steamroll the main plot, I might do a review, but we'll see. It depends how long it takes. I forgot to mention it has interesting online components, although just before recording this I went and turned it off because I got pissed off being invaded, and it is getting invaded, Dark Souls style, just before starting a side mission or a mission. Like it locks you out if you get invaded the second you do, and I was getting pissed off with it happening. So anyway, moving on, there's one more question I think, yes, from Prince Mumu, or what you called, you're called AT, a technicality with some numbers in the name. How has YouTube changed your life at all, and your favourite build in Dark Souls 2 thus far? I'll answer in reverse order because the first, or the latter half, is easier. My favourite build in Dark Souls 2 so far is the Mage that I forced myself to play through with on the console playthrough I did, because I'd never done it before, so it was fresh and new, and it introduced a new way of playing a Souls game to me that I'd never done before, having to like stay away from combat and focus on evading, whereas my natural inclination is to use defending. I did do like an Ultra Greatsword build. Yeah, that's fine. I hate how slow it is, and you don't feel like much of a badass swinging the sword around. That's always the problem some games have when they include like bastard swords and massive greatswords. Yeah, you're swinging like a truck, but I want it to look cool as I do, even if it is slow, and I don't think Dark Souls has that quite right either. Neither does Monster Hunter. The quasi lightning spam twin blade build I'm using on the PC playthrough I like a lot as well. But no, that mage playthrough I liked. I just liked the way it went. And the end game spells like Soul Greatsword, really liked that. So yeah, I'd say that's my favourite. So how has YouTube changed your life at all? Well, the primary thing at the moment is it got me out of a shitty job I hated. And if you want more details about why I hated the job I was in my 1500th upload I did an hour-long question and answer, and I went into a lot of details about the soul-sucking job I had that I despised. So that's definitely made a significant change, and it's made me more confident as well. Like if you listen to a video that has my voice on it from even just 2 years ago, or maybe even less than that, I don't sound as confident in my speaking as I am now. That's because I used to be all about writing, because at least then I could parse what I'm saying and edit myself on the go. It's not the same when you're talking, and yeah, I still stutter over words and sometimes make mistakes, but I'm just a lot more confident with handling a recording by myself, which I wasn't before I started focusing on YouTube. When I was doing YouTube alongside a part-time job, or even just prior to that when I had a full-time job and I was just doing YouTube whenever I felt like it, I would never have thought that one day I'd be able to hold a conversation with myself for say like 30, 40, 50 minutes and have people enjoy listening to it. And that's important, having people enjoy listening to you, because I presume that you stick around for not just the game I'm playing, because otherwise you'd disappear. So yeah, it's made a difference, and hopefully it will continue to do so. Let me check how long I've been recording, because oh god, that was 20 minutes. I was going to talk at length about YouTube, YouTube and Nintendo. I guess I'll just try and condense this into a few minutes here. But Nintendo have revealed that they are They're not changing their minds per se with saying give us all your YouTube money, content creators, because we don't think you deserve any. They're creating a partner. I mean, they already technically created a partnership position as a network, because that's how they gamed the system and got all their music and audio-visual stuff into YouTube's Content ID system, was becoming a partner with YouTube. You know, like a network is what I mean. So now what they're going to be doing, with some undisclosed percentage, is going to offer a revenue split between themselves, Google, and the content creator to allow you to monetize footage of their games. Like, for example, Mario Kart 8, which is going to be out by the time this comes out, I think. When is it released? Oh yeah, I think it's released tomorrow. I don't care. I'm buying it like second hand a month from now. Who cares? But anyway, yeah, so a lot of problems with that. One, it definitely means nothing to me. I will still cover no Nintendo games on my channel because they are fucking morons. But what does it mean? Well, the one good thing is channels that made a name for themselves doing exclusively Nintendo content, of which there is many, some of which are very big. It means that their livelihoods are no longer being stolen. It means only part of their livelihood is being stolen. So, you know, it might mean that they get to eat again, which is very nice for them. For everybody else, it's stupid. It's really, really stupid. Imagine, I mean, Google already takes 45% of what you earn from ads. So the way Nintendo sees it now is, of the, did I say 42? I meant 45. Of the 55% that you get given, they'll be wanting a percentage. They're greedy, they're desperate for money because they're going out of business, so they'll want probably at least half. But let's say they go the channel network route of, say, they only want to take 30 or 40%. Let's say 40% of that total. That still doesn't leave you with anything significantly worth working your arse off for. They should be happy with the sales you generate via the content you create. But they're not, because they're stupid. Another way to look at it, which is even more confusing, is what if you're with a network? Can you even take advantage of this program? They make it sound like you need to apply for a start, which is stupid in itself. But let's say you do, and let's say you get in. So you lose 45% of what you earn to Google for servicing the ads, and then your network of that 55% takes 30 or 40% of it, and then Nintendo will want their cut of probably half of what you get, or maybe they want half before the network even gets anything. So okay, let's go back. Nintendo will take half of that 55%, and then you get that other half after your network has taken 30 or 40% of it. In other words, the number is so small because ads are earning so little at the moment, thanks to everybody using AdBlock, you earn nothing. You earn next to nothing, and neither will Nintendo, really. I mean, Google will always take the lion's share because it's their contribution. They service the ads on their service, so they've decided they take that much, even though I don't think that's fair, but they get to decide because it's their playground, so to speak. So it's not going to be worth Nintendo's trouble doing it this way. They are morons. They should take the accepted route by everybody else in the industry of letting content creators do their stuff and benefit as a result of the free advertising. Advertising costs a lot of money. YouTubers do it for free. Don't piss them off. That's the long and the short of it. And it's really stupid. But, you know, they're trying to meet halfway and not understanding where the halfway point is, I guess. But as I say, for people who only do Nintendo content, it's a way out. It's a way to maybe still make a living, although probably not very. It's not going to change my channel. It's not going to mean that I do Nintendo games. I'm not. I'm looking forward to the day they go bankrupt. Hopefully it'll be within the next few years. I predicted 5 years 2 years ago, and they've been unprofitable since then. So, you know, it might happen. It might. But we'll wait to see, and they might only ask for like 5%. I don't think they will, but if they did, would that be acceptable? Assuming that they took into consideration people who had network partners, then maybe it would. I don't see them being that way though. You just know they're not like that. They're just not. They don't understand online. They don't understand the online marketplace. And there's been a lot of debate about this on our Let's Play about Nintendo. There's a lot of Nintendo apologists piss me off more than anybody in the world because they don't listen to logic. They don't see. But still, there was a lot of debate on some threads about this stuff happening. And Nintendo apologists find it acceptable what they're doing. And they try and say, well, they own the game. No, it doesn't work like that. Either what content creators do is acceptable under fair use or it isn't. Either we are entitled to all of what we earn or we're entitled to none of it. It has to be decided in court which way that goes, and sadly it has yet to go to court. Now if it does go to court and obviously it goes the other way, then everybody will do what Nintendo does, and everybody like me will be out of a business. No, that's fine, they'll then have to just spend lots of money on advertising. We'll go out and get real jobs, as people quite often tell us. But no, either what we do is acceptable and protected under fair use because it is transformative, in that if we sit there idle, the game will do nothing. It requires our input, it requires our unique input, it requires our unique commentary that I believe, otherwise I wouldn't be doing what I do for a living, that I am protected under fair use. And if you side with Nintendo, you are siding against that line of thought. And I disagree. I think I'm protected by fair use, Nintendo thinks I'm not. And that's why they see it acceptable what they're doing. It needs to go to court, sometime, somewhere, in some capacity. It needs to be decided whether someone playing a game and talking over it is protected under fair use. And if it is, Nintendo will have to be kicked in the crotch and pushed away. Or, if they're right, they will kill an industry that's just getting started. Isn't that a victory for everybody? Anyway, I'm going to end there. If you have any comments, questions, or topics of discussion, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Or follow me on Twitter @GamerEnd, and I'll mention on there, I usually give like half a day's warning before I start recording, like say first thing in the morning I'll say I'm recording later on, and then I'll record it in the early afternoon. Sometimes I don't, but either way. Oh, one more thing, totally forgot, and I bet you've already like quit out because you thought I was going to do a blurb about liking the video and stuff. Well, you're going to miss this out. I don't really want to include too much detail because this may not happen, but Dragonakas was very kind to kind of throw together a website design for me. I was bored at work or something like that, and it's really good. So I made myself a WordPress website, and he's going to try and integrate this design he's made for me into there. It won't be used for much. It's got like, I'll have social media and business links on it as well as my videos. It gives me the ability to do blog posts now and then about some stuff, maybe, you know, industry related stuff. I originally started in this industry as a writer, so it might give me a capacity to do more of that. It's going to be, the website address will be www.fliksgamingstuff, that's one word, .wordpress.com. And it also means in the future, if I grow as a channel and as a business, I can also do some kind of like online shop capacity and whatnot through the WordPress site. But whether or not it will actually be a thing, I don't know. Also, I totally forgot this is a new month, or will be by the time you hear this. I'm actually recording this at the end of May. I'll do Patreon shoutouts next time. And actually next time will be in the run up to E3. I'm going to try and arrange just before E3 or just after. It depends, because my birthday is during E3 and I don't want to be away from my PC during the E3 conferences, so my family will want to host a party for me either the weekend before or after. So whichever one they don't pick, I'm going to host a Monster Hunter night. It's been a long time since I've done one. I know people want more, so there'll be more details closer to the time, but that'll be covered in more detail next time probably. So thank you for listening this far if you have. I can't believe this almost pushed 30 minutes. I guess that kind of shows the point I was trying to make earlier. I'm going to go back to Watch Dogs now. And burp, almost. Nope, stifled it. I'm going to go now before it resurfaces. Thank you once again. Stay tuned for more gaming stuff. My name has been Flik, and ta-ta for now.